Good morning, my dear students. In today's class, in the chapter Kinematics, we are going to discuss the topic numericals on accelerated motion. So if you can recollect, in the previous class, we had a discussion about the theory on accelerated motion. If a body accelerates, then how to calculate the distance covered, displacement, velocity at any time, then distance covered in nth or displacement in nth second. All this some related stuff is what we discussed in previous class. Today we'll explore all the numericals based on this. Fine. So already we have the initial enough the theoretical background. The numerical will come, we have to read, understand, draw the diagram, then write suitable equations, solve it, you'll get the required answer. That's the only thing is required in physics. Okay, let me take you to the screen. First, we'll start with the velocity versus time graph. So if we have if velocity versus time graph is given, then what information is what all information we can gather from it. That is what I'm trying to stress here. So let me take a simple equation. This is the okay, this is a velocity versus time graph. Meter per second, there's a velocity. I'll write here also clearly. There's a velocity. And this will be the time in seconds. Let me take some other data. Very important, it's going to help us a lot. So let this be the maximum. Let this be 10. Let this be 4. Let this be 8. Let this be 16. Or we'll take some smaller data. It'll be easy for us to plot the graph also. 2, 4, 8. These are the intervals. There's a velocity versus time graph. Velocity, we know it's a vector quantity. What all we'll get from here? So what are the few questions I'm going to ask is like, can we calculate the distance covered, displacement, acceleration, average speed, average velocity? Can we find out all these things from this graph? Yes, it is. How it is possible? So for this, what happened? We need a small theoretical background. The area under VT graph, what it can be equal to. The area under VT graph, what it can be equal to. For that, let me proceed here. First, we'll have some theoretical background. There's an interval of time, t. There's an initial velocity, u. I do have this curve, no? Let me plot it. There's a final velocity. Okay, there's a velocity, meter per second I'm putting. So this particular area, I'm interested in this area. Are you looking this yellow color shaded region? So the area under the curve, what do it implies? So for that, what is this equation represents? V equal to U plus AT formula. That's all, no? And this will be like a trapezium, O, A, B, C. Area of trapezium, we'll see what will get it. All of you seeing that yellow color strip is now trapezium. So the area under the trapezium, what it should be equal to. of into height is OC, sum of parallel sides OA plus CB. OC must be equal to T, OA must be U, and CB must be equal to V. How I'm writing? There's a height of the trapezium OC. OA, okay, sum of parallel sides OA plus CB. Then after this, of into TU, V is U plus AT. So this will become equal to T by 2, I'll write it. T by 2 equal to 2U plus AT. So this should be equal to UT plus AT square. Okay, this is the area of trapezium. Now, what is that UT plus half AT square? So we know from equations of motion, it should be S equal to UT plus half AT square. So in place of UT plus half AT square, what you can write? S. And what is S? S is the displacement. So area of trapezium is nothing but area under curve in VT graph. Area under curve in VT graph. So what is equal to? Is equal to displacement, no? Nothing but. So here afterwards, so we are going to conclude here. If you calculate area under VT graph, what it is equal to? It is equal to indirectly the displacement. This will be best thing which is going to help us a lot rather than writing equation, because finding area under the straight line will be much easier. Determining the area under curve in straight line will be area under the curve. This will be easier. So area of trapezium, area of rectangle, area of square, area of triangle, they'll be much easier. We can determine easily. Okay, let's come similarly for this. I was interested in this one. Okay, let's calculate area. So there are, can we shade out? Okay, there's a one triangle. So altogether, I'll divide this curve, area under this curve into 3 parts. We can see this. So this is the next. I'm just dividing this particular area into 3 parts so that it'll be easy for us to learn. You can directly get into the calculations part. Okay, some not visible you are telling. Okay, I'll make it thick line. Okay, now. Now get into this one. So I will write, let me indicate this is A1, A2, A3. So what is A1? So from first we'll calculate, see what we'll get it. Area of this triangle, how much it should be equal to? Half into base into height. There's a base, no? 0 to 2. There's a height, half into base into height, plus area of this rectangle. This should be equal to height into base 4 minus 2. Then area of this triangle, this should be equal to half into height 10, 8 minus 4. Half into base into height, no? Okay, let me write it. 10 plus 20. This will be 20. So altogether, this will be 50. This is total area. This A, I'll write it as A1 plus A2 plus A3. How much we got it? The total area under the curve, 50 meters. So this should be equal to the total displacement it is. Total displacement S bar is equal to how much it is? A bar, which is 50 meter I cap. If you know total displacement, can you calculate average velocity? What is the average velocity? It should be equal to S bar by T. What is S bar? 50 I cap. What is the time interval? 8. The body is in motion for 8 seconds. So 25 by 4 I cap meter per second. See, so much of information is available. In VT graph, area under VT graph will be equal to area under curve in VT graph is equal to displacement. This much we know it. Then if you know displacement, what you can calculate? Average velocity you can calculate. Then can we calculate any other information? As I want to know the acceleration at 1. So what is the acceleration? The slope. I think everyone knows how to calculate. So what is the acceleration? The slope of this curve. So therefore here the next part will be acceleration. A1 should be equal to 10 minus 0 by 2. 5 meter per second square. This is acceleration at t equal to 1 second. See, not only just displacement, we are able to calculate average velocity. Now the acceleration is what I'm showing. Then what is the acceleration at 3 seconds? Will be 0, no? Because there's no change in velocity. Acceleration for t. Similarly, I want the acceleration at say 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 seconds, anywhere in this region. Uniform retardation it is. So the slope has to be calculated. So it should be equal to 0 minus 10 by 8 minus 4. What do you mean by negative? It will be retardation. I think I'm displaying everything. See it once. So from VT graph, see, rather than putting theoretically, I'm just took numerical and explaining all the concepts. From VT graph, what all you can find out. Area under curve in VT graph will give displacement. If you know displacement, you'll get average velocity. You can also get the distance covered also. You'll get in acceleration also. You can also calculate even average acceleration also. So from VT graph, what all we can determine? The next question comes. From VT graph, what all we can determine? We can find out. So let me summarize here. From VT graph, means from velocity versus time graph. From velocity versus time graph, what all we can find out? We can find displacement, distance covered, average velocity, average speed, acceleration, instantaneous acceleration, average acceleration. See, I think so much of information is available. It looks very simple curve, but the area under the curve, what happened will indicate so much. Area under the curve, with the help of area under the curve, we can calculate these two. From slope, we'll get this one. From change in velocity by time taken, we'll get average velocity, average acceleration. I'm not saying area under the curve. With area under the curve, we'll get this 4. Let me summarize here. Area under curve. So what about this? Slope of tangent drawn to the curve. This about the average acceleration. What we do is change in velocity by time taken, looking at the data. So much of information is available. So the graphs are very, very important in kinematics, because Rather than explaining it, I'll just draw a graph. Now you see what actually, how that physically this motion occurs. Let's see that. Yes, speed is increasing. If speed increases, then it should be side accelerated motion. No? Speed constant uniform motion. Then speed decreases, so it's a retarding motion. So altogether, how do this motion occurs? We'll take the next plotting of graphs. I adjusted here. The same graph, we will study the what are all possible things we can find out from it. Now look at the experimental curve. It was first, then it was here like this, no? For 4 seconds, 2, 4, and this was 8, and this value was 10. This was the velocity versus, and this is a time interval. X-axis was time, and on the y-axis we had the velocity. Okay, what is actually how that motion takes place? So first it will accelerate, then it will undergo uniform velocity motion, then it will undergo retardation. Physically, how do that motion occurs? Some students are asking, sir, how that motion of an object will take place. Our car, whatever be that, if a vehicle or somebody is moving, so how that motion occurs. So for first 2 seconds, here the body will accelerate. The body will move with a constant speed. Here the body will undergo retardation. Okay, this is A1. Okay, this is A5 something, whatever be that. So look at the motion of the body. First it will accelerate. It will start from rest. There's a physical one. It will start from rest and it will come to rest. First it will accelerate. It will accelerate from rest, uniform velocity motion, then undergoes retardation, and finally comes to rest here. So the motion first, it will accelerate, uniform velocity motion. Oh, very small, no, till here. Then it will undergo retardation afterwards. The motion, in fact, will occur like this. This is the acceleration, uniform speed or uniform velocity. Then retardation, and finally comes to rest. See, it is simple. You start the bike, you increase the speed, move with a constant speed, then put brakes and come to rest. This was this motion. Okay, what about the position versus time graph? I think that is also very important, which we should plot. How the position versus time graph will be. This is 2, this is 4, this is 8. First, what will happen to the body? It will accelerate. Then it moves with a I'll try to draw the graph to the scale. Yeah. Then afterwards, it will undergo retardation. Oh, yeah, I'll try to. Retardation. It should be like that. And finally comes to rest. This is I'll put dots where the change in motion occurs. So what is this? This is a position. Position. This is a time. 2, 4. This is 8. Okay, how do what is this, sir? How do you can say how you can plot this graph? It's an accelerated motion. S equal to half at square. So therefore it should be a parabola. S equal to half at square. Then straight line, uniform velocity motion. It must be a straight line. Huh? I don't know how it is. Is it a straight line? I'll draw it. I'll draw it. Yeah. Uniform velocity motion. And afterwards, it'll undergo return. Look at the slope. The slope keeps on decreases. No? And in FT graph, if you calculate slope, what do you get? You'll get the speed or velocity. So slope decreasing. So therefore, it is said to be undergoing the retardation. Acceleration, the curve will be like this. Parabola, this is also parabola. This is a straight line. This is what happens in position versus time graph. It's a curve. It's a parabola. This is also a parabola. This is a straight line. See, so much of information we have in this VT graph. The FT graph will appear like this. So we must be in a position. If they give VT graph, we must be in a position to plot the FT graph. So what is the type of motion? The body here it will undergo retardation. You calculate slope at various points. So the magnitude of slope keeps on decreases. Okay, this is one overall generalized idea about the body retardation and acceleration. Okay, there's one background is what needed. Okay, after this, so one more information. In ST graph, what do this the curves will indicate? The different shaped curves. The first curve, I'll bring like this. So then, so this different shaped curves, what is the meaning of that? So that I think this background, if we have no, it will be very easy for us to. Okay, then I'll do one thing. I'll give it from here. Okay, here there's a curve. Yeah, if somebody plots a position versus time graph, it is. Okay, the different parts of a curve. What does it mean? The slope of a curve, you see that keeps on increasing. So it is said to be accelerating in forward direction. Okay, towards right, I'll take positive. So what do you mean by slope? Sir, I'm not understanding you're saying slope. Okay, we'll do one thing. Is it visible? Okay, that I'll make it a little bit thick. Look at the, I'm drawing the tangent at 2 different points. Point 192. Let's indicate 0.192. What will happen to the slope at 1 is more than 2. And it's positive, no? V1 is positive, V2 is positive. And what is another conclusion? V1 greater than V2. So with this, what we can say from O to A, speed of the body increases. Speed of body increases. So what we can select, accelerated motion. For O to A, what is the comment we can put it? It is accelerated, describing accelerated motion. I think I need a lot of space. I'll push it a little bit up. Yeah, this will be sufficient. No. Speed of body increases. So from O to A, the speed of the body increases. So shall we say, what is the type of motion? Accelerated motion. Accelerated motion along positive x-axis. The body is moving along positive x-axis and speed is increasing. Next, afterwards, A to B will see. Again, to analyze this, we'll draw a tangent at two different points. Again, we'll draw a tangent. So one tangent I'll draw here. The other tangent I'll draw here. Look at the angle made by the tangents. Look at the green dots here. So look at this tangent. And look at this tangent. So the angle made by this tangent is more than this one. So this is 0.3, 0.4, you write it. So again, the slope of tangent drawn in ST graph will give instantaneous velocity. Am I right? Go back, long back, we have discussed previous classes. So therefore, so what is one more conclusion? V3 is positive, V4 is also positive, and magnitude V3 greater than V4. So what's happening to the, sorry, V4, so V3 greater than V4. So V3 will be greater than V4. So what's happening to the slope now? Is decreasing, no? Earlier slope was increasing. Okay, this is, it's like this. Speed of particle is increased, speed of body increases. The symbols little bit change. Slope at 2 more than 1. So the speed of the body keeps on increasing. So it is said to be accelerating. No, slope at 3 more than 4. The angle made by tangent with horizontal will be here less, or for your L, I will indicate that angle also. Theta 4. So looking at this, you can directly write it, no? Which angle will be more? Theta 2 will be greater than theta 1. Agreed? Similarly here, V3 theta 3 will be greater than theta 4. So therefore, the magnitude of slope decreases. Slope of tangent drawn in FT graph will give velocity. So the speed of particle is decreasing. So what is the type of motion AB? For AB, what we can write? Speed of body decreases. So what we can write it as? Retarding motion along positive x-axis. Body moving, speed of body decreases. So what is the type of motion? Retarding motion. Retarding motion along positive x-axis. Just, I think, will along positive x-axis will later on will indicate. I'll show that. So retarding motion, accelerated motion, that will indicate. The direction I'll show by another graph. So there's the first thing, the second thing, third thing will analyze. Third one for BC. For the part BC. Okay, we'll draw again a tangent. I will draw a tangent here. Then I'll draw a tangent here. Look at the tangent, they're negative, no? Okay, these are the points 5 and 6. 5 and 6. Slope is negative. So velocity will be directed towards left. So that I get. So here V5 is negative. V6 negative, but slope at 6 is more than that at 5. Magnitude. So what's happening to speed of the object? Is increasing. So BC, what we can say? speed of body is increasing and it is said to be accelerated motion. In what direction it is moving? Towards light. It is moving towards left here because V negative means it is moving along negative x. That I'll indicate in the other diagram. There's a fourth one. We'll explore the last one. Color is needed. Yeah, now the last part, CD. Again, we'll draw a tangent. Okay, this will be 7. This will be 8. So slope at 7, it is more than that of 8, no? So for 4, what we can write it as V7 is negative, V8 is negative, and V7 greater than V8. Theta 7. Similarly here, theta 6. So speed of body decreases. Slope, magnitude of slope decreases, speed of body decreases. So what type of motion? Retarding motion. The body describes retarding motion. Okay, this is something very, very important. How do that motion takes place? In fact, we have to study the motion of this object, no? How did that motion take place? Okay, let me take one more fresh page. I was here, no? Now, how did that motion of object occurs? Okay, everything I think I took it took a lot of space. Yeah. Hope I think everyone is able to see things clearly. No. Okay, this is what we had a discussion. Okay, this motion will represent practically how do it occurs. First, we can't move it. First, what is a motion? This is O. This is A. This is B. C. There's a rough thing. So here the speed of object will keep on increase. So this is what we were showing it like this. And the acceleration was like this here. You call A dash or what will be that. Or AOA, acceleration. Then afterward, the object will be still moving towards right only. Then the speed of object, what happened? It was undergoing retardation. A, B. Then finally it has come to rest, then change direction of motion. I'll draw a better diagram. I have to represent everything. No? Yeah. So this is the O, A, B, B, C, and this is D. So this is the V1, V2, the acceleration AOE. There's a physical motion. Physically it happens. There's a graph. This is what physically happens. Here the speed of particle V3, V4, it will undergo retardation, and here instantaneous rest. At B for a while, it will be at rest. It started from rest. and finally come to rest here. Slope here will be 0. Here also slope is 0. That's what I assumed it. Then here V5, V6, V7, V8. It will undergo retardation. It will undergo acceleration. What all I wanted to describe everything I'm putting. First, the body will start from rest. It will accelerate. Speed of object increases, becomes maximum here. Then here, it starts undergoing retardation. Undergoes retardation. You see acceleration opposite to velocity, retardation. Speed of the particle decreases, comes to rest. Here, slope is 0. Instantaneous rest for a while. Again it starts accelerating, but acceleration is towards left here now. The speed of particle is increasing. So don't call this a retardation. This is the acceleration. This part is retardation. CD is retardation. The speed of particle decreases. So what do you mean by acceleration here? Speed of particle increases, acceleration. Speed of particle decreases, retardation. Acceleration can be positive or negative. Retardation can be positive or negative. Are you seeing this part? So I am explaining something very beautiful part of this kinematics here. Now the definition. This is the acceleration. This part is what? Retardation. This part is again acceleration. And this part is what? Retardation. If I didn't describe this, there is no meaning of only ST graph. ST graph, any teacher describe ST graph, without this, it's of no use. Acceleration can be positive. Yes, you see this. Look at this acceleration, AOE towards right. Acceleration, ABC. It is also positive, but how it will be directed negative. So acceleration positive doesn't mean that it's a retardation. But in numericals, we do treat like that. I think you have to be very careful about the situation given. Retardation, look at this retardation is directed along positive x-axis. So therefore, how do we say body is said to be accelerating? If speed of body increases, the body is said to be accelerating. If speed of body decreases, the body is said to be decelerated or retarded, and anything we can use. Okay, this is something very, very important data. Speed of body increases, acceleration, speed of body decreases, retardation, that's all. Acceleration can be directed along positive x-axis or along negative x-axis. Retardation can be directed along negative x-axis or positive x-axis. That's what I'm trying to, I'm explaining using this particular graph. In ST graph, if you draw a tangent, it will give the slope of tangent on at various points. What it will give? It will give us the instantaneous velocity. So speed increases, acceleration. Speed decreases, retardation. Okay, I agree this. So there's a one background is what we needed. So what is the requirement like? If you know VT graph, if you know VT graph, you should know how to plot ST graph. If you know ST graph, you should know how to plot VT graph. There's a meaning of the curves. Okay, here I just described, here there's a physical motion, there's a path. So how the object, it will move like this. It will move. And it will retrace path that the graph will be very difficult to show. Therefore, we are just taking some curve here. So don't take, again, it will take a turn, sir. What is the radius of this curve? Nothing. The body will go like this and will return back. This to show all the things, we are showing different path, but actually to retrace path, it'll go there, will return back. Fine. This is very essential. In books, they try to explain. Here, I'm just giving a little bit a better explanation. You can see. So AOA, acceleration, positive x-axis. ABC is again acceleration, but again it is along negative x-axis. So be careful so that this data will trouble you. Let me move to the next one. Means like from FT graph, we can even tell a body is said to be accelerating or retarding. Am I right? From position versus time graph, can you say a body is accelerating or undergoing retardation? Yes, we can predict. Can you predict the velocity at any time by the slope? Can you calculate average velocity? Yes. Can you calculate distance covered, displacement? Yes. So so much of information available. From FT graph, even we can determine a body is accelerating or undergoing retardation. This is what I mean to say. This I didn't cover in the beginning because at that time we were not knowing acceleration idea. From FT graph, what all we can find out. Once again, I'm revising. From position versus time graph, we can predict instantaneous velocity, average velocity, distance covered, displacement, acceleration, or retardation. So this much of wide information is available from these graphs. Let me save it. Okay, let me explore now the VT graph. One more problem we'll take on VT graph. Let me take this 10 meters per second. This is 2, 4. Let this be 5. Let this be 10. Now let me take it this till 7. And this will be let it be 4. Are you seeing some negative part of graph? So like, sorry, in the fourth quadrant is what we are having certain graph. Okay, this you try to notice. We'll shade different colors. This is let me shade it so that will be easy for you. No. Why this yellow? Okay, some rough shading is what I meant. Okay, let's see that. What is the x-axis? X-axis is t is in seconds. There's a velocity. and this is time. So I want the average, like what is the distance covered, displacement, average velocity, also like a average velocity and average speed also for 0 to 7 seconds altogether. So first, these are areas are there, no? What do these areas will indicate? A1, A2 will calculate first magnitude of these areas. What is A1? A1 should be equal to of into base 2, it is 10. 10 it will be. What about A2? Here I'm asking you to look at here. Area of this yellow color triangle. There's a triangle. Base is 2. Base is 2. Height is how much? 10. So half into base into height. Then area of this should be equal to like a rectangle it is. So 10 minus 4 minus 2. This will be 20. Area of this triangle. Height is 4. Base height is 1. So half into base 5 minus 4, height 4. That is 2. Last A4, area of triangle of into base, height is 4. There's a minus sign, no? Negative it is? No. So this will be minus 4, I'm getting. So what is this, like what do negative signs? If I ask you distance covered, so what we are going to do is like for distance covered. For distance covered, you have to just add up all the possible areas. So 10 plus 20 minus 2 mod of 30 plus 6. 36, I'll write it. So there's a total distance covered. What about displacement? You have to just take the algebraic sum of these. A1, 10, 20, minus 2, minus 4, 24 meter. Are you getting now? So this is the, like this, the area under the curve will see so much of information. Then what about average speed? Average speed. So what is average speed? Average speed should be equal to distance covered by total time taken. Distance covered is how much? 36, this one, meter per second. 36 by 7 meter per second. Average velocity. 24 by 7 meter per second. What do you mean by 24? This we didn't understood properly. Okay, let's plot the position versus time graph so that you'll understand little bit. Or how that motion occurs. How that actually motion takes place. We should get a better picture, no? So first what happened, it will move 10 meter. Then it will move 20 meter. Then I'll extend further this line. It will move 10 meter for 2 seconds. The 10, I'll show it here. Then it will move another 20 meter. Then afterwards, it will move 2 meter, then 4 meter. Move 2 meter, then 4 meter. So this will be how much distance will be? 2 meter. And finally, it will come to rest. It started from rest. and finally it is at rest. How the path is like this. Here the body will accelerate. A dash I'll call it. Here V dash. Here it will move with a uniform speed, acceleration 0. Then what about the motion here? Here the speed will be in this direction. Here the speed will be in this direction. And it will undergo retardation. V1, Vx, I'll write it. VA, VB, VC. Some symbols I'll give it. Look at that, those arrows are very important. First, what will happen to the body? The velocity, the speed of object will increase. So accelerated motion, uniform velocity motion. Then again, this acceleration only. The speed is increasing. Then there's a retardation. So how the physically that motion occurs, the motion takes place like this. Accelerated, first accelerated, then uniform velocity, then it will take a turn, then acceleration, then retardation, then comes to rest. This is a path. What is this? This is a path. This is what you are seeing is a graph. The object is not moving like this here. Object just will go straight and returns back. Okay, now you have everything. So what is this 30 meter? There's a 30 meter plus 2 plus 4, how much? 36, agreed? Fine. Why 24 meter? Because this total distance is 30 meter. What about this 6 meter? Subtract that. So what do you get? You get the displacement. This is 30. This is 6. So total distance covered, how much it will be? 30 plus 6, distance covered. 30 minus 6, the displacement. So what's happening, body? It will move away from positive axis. Then again, it will start moving towards positive x-axis, towards origin. It will move away from origin, then towards origin. Can we plot position versus time graph? I think this will be really, really very important for student. They must develop from the beginning only. If you know one graph, how to plot the other one. Okay, I do have space. I'll try to accommodate here only. First, what is the type of motion? Uniform velocity motion. Little bit, yeah. See now. First uniform for 2 seconds, uniform velocity motion. So for 2 seconds, it's a uniform velocity motion. Sorry, for 2 seconds, accelerated motion. Then uniform velocity motion for next another 2 seconds. Then it will undergo retardation. It will cover more distance. No? I'll increase the length of this. Plotting graphs without any skills, little bit difficult. 2 seconds. Yeah. Then what it will do? It will accelerate. And finally comes to rest. Okay, this is the time 2. This is 4. This is 5. This is 7. From the beginning only, student should develop this ability to plot the graphs. That's why I just included it here. All the respective things I'm showing it. Okay, agreed. So what is this? There's a position. There's a time. Now, what is that maximum distance? This should be equal to 30. Huh? I should indicate this to be 30. Agreed. The maximum what is the maximum distance of the object from the origin? 30 meters. Afterwards, it will start moving. Wait. The curve. This is a slight change. Yeah. So the final. Now where I should indicate this should be the 24 meter. Because finally where it is at a distance of 24 meter from the origin. Okay, this is a method of plotting of the graph. So here accelerated motion, uniform velocity, accelerated motion along native x-axis, then retarding motion along native x-axis. Nearby graph, I'll write it so that will be easy for you. So what is this? Accelerated motion along positive x-axis. I'll write it. It will be uniform velocity. This is AB. This is AC. Why I'm showing? Because related to that particular thing, the path. Or if you want accelerated motion along positive x-axis, what you should write here? Acceleration along positive x-axis. Acceleration along positive x-axis. Uniform velocity, uniform speed. There's no problem. This is what? Again, this is also acceleration. Acceleration along negative x-axis it is. Retardation along positive x-axis. Okay, these are some examples like a VT graph. Also, we have so much of information in there, like our ST graph, VT graph. So both the graphs is what I'm showing. So from ST graph, we can show about acceleration retardation. From VT graph also, we can show acceleration retardation. Let me save this. Okay, now we'll have the next problem. A driver having a, let me read the question for you. A driver having a definite reaction time is capable of stopping over a distance of 30 meters on seeing a red traffic light when the speed of car is 72 km/h. Fine. And over a distance of 10 meters when the speed is 36 km/h. Assuming that his reaction time and the acceleration of the car remains the same in all cases, find the distance over which he can stop the car when he is going at 54 km/h. What do you mean by reaction time? I think we should understand the word, what do you mean by reaction time? See, the moment he sees the moment he sees red color traffic light, then the person will take some time, no, to press the brake or to decrease the acceleration, to decrease the speed. That is called like a reaction time. to press that brake pedal. So it will take some time. That's called like a reaction. During the time, the car will continue to move with a constant speed. So here, where car gone? Then finally it will undergo retardation, and it comes to rest here. Okay, this is the reaction time. The reaction time is same, but the speed with which it is moving initially, whatever the speed with which it was moving, initial speed, now it will undergo, and the retardation and the acceleration of the car remains same. It will undergo retardation, and finally it comes to rest. What was the earlier speed? 72 km per hour. Okay, if I rewrite it, V1, this is U1, 72 km per hour. Convert this into meters, 5 by 18. I think 20 meters per second. Similarly, U2, 36 km per hour. So 36 into 5 by 18. 10 meters per second. What about U3? Let me convert into meter per second. 54 km per hour. Five by 18. This will be 18, 15 meters per second. Okay, this was the initial speed of the car, U1. That's U1. So it will cover a distance of how much? X1. X1 dash, it will cover here. Then so when it is moving with a speed U2, it will cover 72 km per hour. No, so let me show this. Let me adjust all the things according to the data. Okay, this what? Okay, let me. Time. What are the questions that are asked? So we know U1, U2, U3. U1, U2, and let it be U3. This is. This is the distance covered during that X1, X2, X3. What are X1, X2, Y2, Y3? And let this be the retardation. This time is same. Reaction time is same for this T1 time will be same. This reaction time, let me call that as T. Then this will be T1, T2, T1. Let this be reaction time is T. This time let it be T2. T equal to 0, T equal to T, this is T3. See, to put a brakes, what actually happens here, the car is moving. Then you will see the traffic light somewhere here. Find the distance over which he can stop the car. So somewhere he sees the traffic light. Traffic light is somewhere here. Then when he was moving with a 72 km per hour and over a distance of 10 meters, when the speed is capable of stopping over a distance of 30 meters on seeing a red traffic light when the speed of car is 72 km per hour and over a distance of 10 meters. What do you mean by 10 meters? The 10 meters is this total. X1 plus Y1 is 30. What is this 10 meter? 10 meter is this one, like what we have X2 plus Y2. Assuming that the reaction time and acceleration of the car remains the same, find the distance over which he can stop the car when he is going at 54 km per hour. Is asking this distance. What is the distance? Is asking X3 plus Y3. The reaction time is same. So what is reaction time? Here what happens? It will take some time to put brake. This is what. This here is what will take a time to put a brake. Now we'll apply brake. It'll undergo retardation, then it'll come to rest. So what is the state of this car? It has come to rest. Able to understand? No? So the car is moving. It will take time t to apply brake. After this time t, now the car is undergo retardation. Now brakes are being applied. It will undergo retardation, comes to rest here. So what is the t I should define? Reaction time or time taken by person, time taken by the person to press the brake pedal. What are the T1, T2, T3? They are the retarding times. They are the retardation times in the various situations. We'll go for full screen. We'll get a lot of space to scribble. Okay, now we have this much of data. So how to manage all this thing? How to write equation? Now we know U1, U2, everything. We know X1 plus Y1 is 10. What is the data we have? X1 plus Y1 is 30. X2 plus Y2 is 10. Now we are asking that X3 plus Y3. This is a question mark. What is X1? You can write it as X1. You can write it as U1 into reaction time. What is X2? U2 into reaction time. What is X3? U3 into reaction time. Then afterwards, the car will undergo retardation. So what is the retardation? Retardation Y1 should be equal to U1. Okay, T1 minus A, T1 square by 2. Let me take help of this one. So let me substitute. So what all the things we know? So here X1, I'll do one thing. I'll come in order. This you may find very difficult. There's a data. Looking at the first car, X1 plus Y1 equal 30. And what is X1? Till is pressing the brake pedal, the car will be moving with a constant speed. T is a reaction time. Afterwards, it'll press the brake pedal, then it'll undergo retardation. Let me substitute X1, Y1 here. So this should be equal to U1T. I'll come to this later on. First, we'll write for the first car. U1T plus U1T1, A1 T1 square by 2 should be equal to 30. Okay, what is unknown thing now? What is the biggest problem is like U1 we know, A, T and T1 we don't know it. Because what is the data given? Only that find the distance over which you can stop the car when is it going at 50 km per hour. Okay, now similarly, what is the data we can write it as? x2 plus y2 is 20 meter, 10 meter. Yeah, and then so x2 equal to u2t, then y2 equal to u2t2 minus a t2 square by 2. Let me substitute this. X2 it will be u2t, u2t2 minus a t2 square by 10. Similarly, x3 y3 is equal to how much, this we don't know. This has to be determined. x3 equal to u3t, okay, this substituting this in that equation. So u3t plus u3t3. Okay, so what all needed? Do we know? Do we have u1, u2, u3? Yes, we know it. What are unknown things? T1, T2, T3, and A, and S. So many unknowns are there. What to do with this equation? I think, okay, you are able to see it. Yeah. What to do with all this? How to solve this equation? No, what to do? Like we have so many unknown things are there. So there's nothing wrong in thinking like this. Only thing is like unnecessary. We brought many unknowns. Our purpose is only to get S. So is there any alternative? We can also think in by either way. What is either way? Instead of using this equation, we could have thought in either way. Instead of using this set of equations, I'll try to take it out. Okay, this will be a little bit more lengthy. This approach is more lengthy. You can solve, but you have to work out many calculations. So what is the other method? The other method is like, what was the velocity u1? Look at here. It was moving with a speed u1 and it has come to rest. So shall we write for this car 0 minus u1 square equal to 2 into minus of a1 into say distance y1. And we know other side x1 equal to u1 into t. And what is x1? Okay, let me simplify. u1 square equal to 2a1 y1. This equation is going to help us a lot. Now we know x1 plus y1 is how much given? 30 meter. So write it. What is x1? u1t. What is y1? u1 square by 2a is equal to 30. Equation 1. Similarly, 0 square minus u square equal to 2. The retardation is same, no, in all the cases. Yeah. Minus 2a y2 and x2 is equal to u2t. So solving this, we'll get u2 square is equal to 2a y2. So x2 plus y2 is equal to how much? 10. It is given data. Let's try to see that. So therefore, what is x2? u2t. What is y2? Solving these two, I think what are unknown things are there? T and A. Carefully look at this. Can we solve this equation? It's, we know u1 and u2. Solving this, I'll get expression for T as reaction time 0.5 seconds. What about the retardation? The retardation was equal to 10 meter per second square. After getting this, is asking x3 plus y3. What is x3? u3 into t plus this will be u3. Okay, first we'll do one thing. I'll come in order. 0 square u3 square equal to 2 retardation y3. So finally, what is y3 is equal to u3 square by 2a. What is x3 equal to u3t? So what is the distance? x3 plus y3. u3t plus do we know t? Yes. Do we know a? Substitute them here. We'll get the distance. So it's all about like what type of equation you are going to choose. The final answer, the simplified way of getting answer means what type of equations of motion you choose. Earlier I shown by s equal to ut plus half it square. But what was the problem with that is like the so many unknowns, everything messed up. So therefore, the equations of motions we know. Which equations of motion if you apply it, so that answer will come immediately is what you have to search. What is this reaction time? I think this is problem is very important. If you take alcohol, then definitely if a driver takes alcohol, then the reaction time will increase. This is a very dangerous. Then you will take more time to press the brake pedal. Then after pressing the brake pedal, it will undergo retardation here. This is the thing. But this time will be more. So by the time when you start pressing the brake pedal, it may go and crash. That is the reason why if you take alcohol, you should not ride the bike, you should not drive the car. So the alcohol, what it will do, it will increase the reaction time. That's why we have a rules, traffic rules, like don't take alcohol and drive the car. What is the reason is the reaction time will increase. This will be very dangerous, no? The reaction time, if it is less, if you are alert, this will be less. Then what will happen? Immediately you start pressing the brake pedal. This should be least possible. So that's why you should be alert when you are driving. So therefore I request, of course, all of your kids, you don't go for alcohol, but when you grow up, okay, you go for alcohol. Don't consume or don't drive car after consuming alcohol, or don't ride bike after consuming alcohol. It may lead to severe accidents. So every problem here comes with certain knowledge. It's not something we are just discussing some numerical here. So what was the thing you have seen? What type of equations of motion? Equations of motion are 4 are there. Which equation has to be taken is very, very important. Let's take the next set of question. A particle is moving along a straight line with constant acceleration. At the end of 10 seconds, its velocity becomes 20 meters, and in 10 seconds, it travels a distance of 10 meters. The acceleration of particle will be. What is the formula for distance covered in S equal to UN? A particle moving in a straight line with constant acceleration. Okay, I think I have to give diagram. I'll come to this later on. Yeah. Okay, this is a thing. So here t equals with at the end of 10 seconds, its velocity becomes 20 meters per second. This is 10 seconds. Here its velocity will be. This is t equal to 10 seconds. And in 10th second, it will travel a distance of 10 meters. We don't know what velocity it will be here, and this will be 9 seconds. No, I think this is a thing what is needed. What will be the acceleration of particle is asking. For 10 seconds, it will cover a distance. I think there's a formula what I'll be using, and the distance covered in nth second. There's a formula. how to take help of this data now. Is it okay? So I think yesterday's class, we had a discussion about this particular formula. And what about V, this 20 meter, looking at this data here, 20 meters should be equal to V plus A into 1. Or say 20 should be equal to U plus A into 10. This one, initial velocity is U, we don't know. Between these two, this is at T equal to 0. T equal 0, it is having some initial velocity that I'm writing it. Acceleration is unknown thing, U is unknown thing. Okay, let me write all the things. At the end of 10 seconds, it velocity becomes, and 10th second it travels. So I think here I have data 10, U I don't know, this I don't know. So this is 10. So 10 equal to U plus 19. So U plus 19A by 2. 10 equal to U plus. So this call this equation 1. So there's another equation what we have. Or call this equation 1. This is equation 2. We'll see what is the use of this. So U and A solving 1 and 2. I'll substitute put 1 into. So 10 equal to U, what you can write 20 minus 10A plus 19A by 2. Solving this, I'll get expression for acceleration, 20 meter per second square. What is S? I indicated S. S is this much. Till here is what S. He didn't ask S. Okay, if you asked S, we can calculate that also. How to calculate that? Because now we know A. After getting A, we'll get the U also. Substitute A 20. So 10 is equal to, let me begin the calculation. 10 equal to U plus 19 by 2 into 20. So U is equal to how much it will be? This will be 10, 10, 190, 190. So this will be, U will be minus 180. That value of U, you substitute here, then A, you substitute here, then calculate, you'll get the distance. Let me take the next one. Oh, what's happening? Oh. Okay, able to read. A car starts from rest and accelerates uniformly for 10 seconds to a velocity of 8 meters. It then runs at a constant velocity and is finally brought to rest in the total distance covered. Find the value of acceleration, retardation, and total time taken. So what is a motion? How the motion of the car will take place? First, it will accelerate uniformly for 10 seconds. It will accelerate. And then runs with a uniform velocity. And finally, it undergoes retardation and comes to rest. Okay, what all information we'll have, we'll tablet here. So this will be this distance is what? 64 meters. For 10 seconds, we don't know this distance. And what about this distance? For 10 seconds to a velocity 8 meters. So this is that 8 meter. It then runs at a constant velocity and finally brought to rest in 64 meter. So this will be 8 meter again. It is at rest. Again, it will finally come to rest. So what is this acceleration? We don't know. A1. And what is this retardation? We don't know. And the total time taken. So we have this interval of time t equal to. Hope everyone, the moment you read the question, you must have this much of background. Okay, this is what happening to the car. Or you can plot the velocity versus time graph. Now, what is the type of motion? First, it will accelerate, uniform velocity motion, then retardation. This will be the constant maximum speed it will attain. This is the speed or velocity you can put it. And this is the interval of time. T is in seconds. So many different approaches are there. You can work out even with a graph also. First, let me work out with the equations of motion, what we know. I think we are here. Look at the, oh no, what shall we do? What all information we can write it? Look at this part. It was at rest, get accelerated for 10 seconds, it will acquire velocity. So shall we write equations of motion for this? What is the formula? 8 is equal to 0 plus acceleration A1 into 10. So what is A1? A1 equal to 0.8 meter per second square. After that, can we calculate the time? For what time it got accelerated? Okay, can we calculate the distance? S1 equal to A1 T1 square by 2. This time I'll call T1. A1 we know it. We have calculated. Or V equal to U plus AT, there'll be still much easier. Okay, the distance is V square minus U square equal to 2A's formula also you can apply it. Okay, A1 is 0.8, 2 time is 10 square. So this will be 40 meter. 100. Yeah, 40 meter it will be there. Okay, now we got somehow S1. Then come for this. It will undergo retardation. And in that retardation cover 64 meter. We'll apply equations of motion for this one here. So 0 square equal to 8 square equal to 2 into minus A2 into S3. A3 I'll write it. The symbol will be better. Minus 64 retardation 64. So A3 equal to 0. Minus 0.5 meter per second square. As it will undergo retardation. So the negative sign undergoes, it will undergo retardation. So we know we got the acceleration. So what all unknown things? Acceleration is asked. Retardation that was asked. Then, and total time taken. The total distance covered by the car is 584 meters. So now we know S1. Can we write it, the other quantities? S1 plus S2 plus S3 is equal to 584 meter. What is S1? We calculated S1, 40. S2 we don't know. What about S3? S3 is given 64. So S2 should be equal to 480 meter. Can we calculate the T2? S2 should be equal to like 8 into T2. So 480 into 8 into T2. 60 seconds. For 60 seconds, it will move with a constant speed. And the total time taken is asking again this T3. I think this is very easy, no? The next part will be 0 is equal to 8 minus A3 into T3. A3 is 1 by 2, so T3 will be 16 seconds. So what is the total time of traverse? T1 10, T2 60, this is 16. 86 seconds will be our answer. Okay, all the quantities, try to notice this. Now, what is this equation? V equal to U plus AT formula. Initial velocity is 0, no? V like a V equal to U plus A1 T1. S1 equal to half A1 T1 square. Solving this, I'll get A1. From this A1, from this S1. Then I'll apply again V square minus U square equal to 2A's formula. Final velocity is 0, initial velocity is 8. 0 square minus 8 square equal to 2 retardation A3 into the distance covered. This is given 64 meters. Solving this, I'll get S2. Sorry, this retardation. Then we know total distance covered 584. I know S3, I know S1, I'll get S2. From S2, and the car will move with uniform speed till here. The speed of the car remains constant. So therefore, I'll get this time. Then I'll calculate T3. Then the total time I'll get it. So this is a VT graph we have. How to plot ST graph? First, accelerated motion. Uniform velocity motion. Then retarding motion. Every problem I'm trying to introduce the things what we have learned. Okay, this will be the okay, agree this. So this will be position. This is time. This total time is 86, you write it. This is 10. This is 60. This time is 16 seconds. Position, if you want to write it. So this position will be 480. Okay, so these are the types of problems. So every numerical, what happened? We have to read the question. After reading the question, so what equations of motions you can apply, how that motion occurs, what equations of motion you can apply, plot VT graph, plot ST graph, or plot AT graph, what all possible graphs you try to plot. This is one complete way of learning the kinematics questions. Please follow this method so that a test stretch will be learning so many ideas here. We take the next question again. Between two stations, a train accelerates from rest uniformly at first, then moves with a constant velocity and finally returns uniformly to come to rest. If the ratio of time interval is 1:8:1 and the maximum speed attained is 6, then what is the average speed over the whole journey? Let me check the time. Okay, yeah, we can continue. Two more problems will continue. Okay, how to work out this? 1:8:1 is spelling. Okay, first we'll see, we'll plot the wheat. The train between two stations accelerates from rest and finally comes to rest here. Track I can't show. Only the train is what? I'll show it. Okay, there's a train. There's a track. It will accelerate from rest to rest here. So first what happen? It will accelerate from rest. The train will have accelerated motion. Like similarly, previous problem what we discussed, no, that was a car. No. It will accelerate, then uniform velocity, then finally it will come to rest here. The ratio of times, the times ratios here given. So therefore this time we'll call T. This has 8T. This is T. Maximum speed attained is some other color will choose. And it was moving from rest to rest. Okay, no, definitely I can say that the acceleration must be same. The acceleration, the amount of acceleration retardation must be same. Any reason for that? Because look at that. The time interval for acceleration and the time interval for retardation is same. So the acceleration and retardation have to be same, or else you write equations of motion. What is there? Vm is equal to 0 plus alpha t. This is then similarly 0 equal to Vm minus beta t. With this alpha equal to beta, I'll get it, and that should be equal to A. It will undergo retardation, no? Because it is going to describe here uniform velocity motion. So what distance it will cover during this period, the same distance is going to cover during this one. So with this, looking at this, I can also write x1 equal to x3. Average speed over the whole journey is asking. So now we know time interval. We know the distances here. So what is the basic definition of average speed? Average speed should be equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 by t plus 8t plus t. What is x1? X1 should be equal to a t square by 2. What is x2? Vm into t. Vm into 8t. This should be equal to what is x3? X3 is also equal to Vm t minus a t square by 2. But we know Vm is equal to I think I'll write these symbols. Huh? Some of you are getting confusion. And we know alpha equal to beta. No? Can we write also Vm equal to this alpha t? And alpha equal to beta. So further, this will be V average is equal to alpha is equal to beta equal to A, I'm writing. So this will be 8 t square by 2, 8 VMT. Vm is what? 80 into t. This is 8 t square by 2. Alpha equal to beta is what we wrote. So this should be equal to 8 t square by 2. Vm is what? 80. 80 square. This will be 80 square. So this should be 10t. For everything, we can replace in terms of Vm also. Okay, this 8t square, 8 square 9 80 square by 10t. So 9 by 10, 80. What is 80? Vm is equal to 80 is what? In place of 80, I'm writing Vm. So V average equal to 9 by 10. So what is this? This is 60 kilometer per hour. So 9 6 54. 54 kilometer per hour will be our answer. Of all this data is very important. It will accelerate from rest. This is for retarding motion. The time of acceleration and time of retardation are equal. That was given here, the ratio. So therefore, this alpha and beta must be same retardation. The acceleration must be equal to retardation. This is one more important data. I'll underline it. The here is what I substituted 80 as Vm. Please do notice. How suddenly that Vm has come, because Vm equal to 80 is what we have derived from here. This is may not be important. Just I wrote it. Even x1 equal to x3. This I'm showing it separately here. This you may find difficult. I'll eliminate it. May not be needed here now. Okay, again, what about the graph? Because every time I'm insisting on the graph. Okay, again, the same methodology for the graph. I'll try to accommodate here only. First, the train will accelerate, uniform velocity, then retardation. Then we know how to plot such graphs. Accelerated motion, uniform velocity, then this one, then retardation. Every problem. Sir, can you plot the acceleration versus time graph also? You are showing only these things. Okay, let's try that also. First, acceleration. So acceleration, how do we represent? Then uniform velocity motion. Acceleration will be 0. Then retardation. Okay. Oh, everything you try to develop now only. This is acceleration. Accelerated motion, retarding motion. Acceleration 0 means uniform velocity motion. I show the complete description of the problem. A student has to fight. There's no other way. A student has to fight with the concepts. Okay, I'll continue the next class. We'll wind up this one. In the coming classes, we'll discuss few more numericals on this one. Okay, I'll finish off this. I think it's got some more left over. We'll continue the next class, this one. I think we stopped it here, no? Yeah. Okay, complete description. The last problem. This is what the discussion what we made. Okay, the idea of that train accelerating, uniform velocity, then retardation. Retardation means beta should be opposite. The train will come to rest means here you can apply equations of motion v equal to u plus at. So all our numericals, what all we are discussing revolves around how you apply equations of motion. Nothing big. Just stick on to that equations of motion you can manage. Okay, we'll end up the class. Okay, no. Kids, today what happened? You had some discussion about the. First, we started with the velocity versus time graph. Am I right? Velocity versus time graph. In the velocity versus time graph, there, the area under VT graph, what it will give? It will give the distance covered displacement from that average speed, average velocity. We can also, and if you calculate the slope, you'll get the acceleration. So all that information was available in the velocity versus the time graph. Then the curve can be in the first quadrant or fourth quadrant only, because the time cannot be negative. As the time cannot be negative, so no question of in second and fourth quadrant. There's the one thing. Then afterwards, we entered into uniform accelerated motion. In all that numericals, what is the method? First, read the question, understand what actually goes on, like a car moving, train moving. What is the type of motion? Acceleration, uniform velocity, retardation. So get that physical idea first. Afterwards, looking at that physical diagram, write the equations. Then again, equations of motion, we have 4. V equal to U plus at, S equal to ut plus of at square, V square minus U square equal to 2as, and distance code in n second. Among 4, which one are useful is what you have to take a decision. Sometimes you may write, but it become very lengthy. Sometimes some among these 4, some 2 equations may make problem very simple. That a student has to develop a skill of identifying which equations I should use. I shown one problem where I picked up some equations and it became very lengthy. Then when I picked up other equations, it became very simple. This comes by practice. After this, then what you have to do, you have to go for even the plotting of graphs also. Whether in the question graphs are given or not, you plot VT graph, ST graph, and VT graph, so that you are able to learn the problem completely. This is one methodology of the motion in uniform accelerated motion you have to learn. Okay, in coming class, we'll discuss few more problems related to this, so that you'll be in a better position. Okay, thank you all of you kids. Okay, take care, bye, see you. Bye, kids.